Hey y'all, this is my swim YouTube channel review. His Twitch channel is called Swim Strim. He makes Legends of Runeterra content on YouTube, and he has a really good channel. If you like Legends of Runeterra, you should definitely check it out. He's probably the most prominent Legends of Runeterra content creator on YouTube. At least I don't watch him on Twitch. I don't really watch Legends of Runeterra on Twitch personally. Normally on Twitch I just watch just chatting or whatever. But on YouTube I do watch his Legends of Runeterra content, and he's a really good stream. This is my review of him. I started watching Swim a week ago. About a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago. Watched a number of his videos. Because I was really excited about Legends of Runeterra, so I get really invested in these games like this. I got really invested in Overwatch when I play Overwatch, and I watch the YouTube channels that talk about Overwatch, like Your Overwatch and Unit Loss Gaming and what used to be called Overwatch Central and all those channels. And I get really invested in these games, and I really enjoy YouTube content where they talk about metas, YouTube content where they talk about strategies. And the interesting thing I want to talk about here is I actually enjoy people's YouTube content talking about video games more than I enjoy actually playing video games. I know 99% of people aren't like that, but I'm very unique in the sense that I enjoy listening to people talk about video games more than I enjoy playing video games. It used to be a few years ago, I used to, probably before Overwatch came out, I got really into the Overwatch content scene on YouTube when that came out, but before that, I was really into listening to Giant Bomb podcasts. I was really interested in listening to Weekend Confirmed podcasts with Garnett Lee and that other guy with the very charismatic voice. I forgot his name. So the Weekend Confirmed podcast, the Giant Bomb podcast. For a long time, I was really into gaming podcasts. I was really into GameTrailers.com, where they would I watch a number of the GameTrailers.com shows, and they had really good content. And actually, a lot of those guys are on YouTube now. But my favorite one was Shane Satterfield, and Shane Satterfield doesn't actually his YouTube channel. He doesn't really cover PC gaming that much. He mostly covers. I mean, he on his podcast he talks more about console gaming, and I don't really play console games anymore. So I just listen to so I don't watch Shane Satterfield anymore, and then there's that other anyways, there's a lot of people on YouTube that I don't watch, but even though they're really talented, there's so many talented people on YouTube. And my favorite thing ever since Overwatch came out was listening to or watching Overwatch content on YouTube and learning about the metas, learning about strategies, learning different things to do on how to be successful in the game. You know, the funny thing about video games, I can only play video games for an hour or two a day. I swear, I can only play video games for an hour or two a day, but I can watch gaming content on YouTube, or I used to listen to podcasts, or I used to watch other stuff. I can do that stuff for almost 3 or 4 hours a day. I feel like I can watch gaming content, I used to watch Twitch more. I mean, I still watch Twitch a lot, but mostly for the just chatting. But I was watching Twitch a lot for a while. I mean, I was watching the gaming content on there for a while too, like with Dr. Disrespect and stuff, and the Overwatch people like Cupcake and all that. But yeah, I enjoy watching the content people about. I enjoy watching people talk about things. I find video games so impersonal. Like it's almost like to be 100% honest, I feel a little bit aggressive when I play too many video games, because 99% of video games are pretty violent, and it's just like I feel some form of aggression when I play too many video games. And that's actually a very non-natural phenomenon. If you listen to Ezra Klein from Vox.com, he said in a podcast, and he had an article where they talked about there is a slight increase in aggression when you play too many video games. And there's a limit on how many you should really play. Yeah, so I've all my life I've never been able to play more than an hour or two of video games a day, because I feel like it's just I also get a headache, because I get a headache because it's just like, I could be learning something about life, I could be learning something about communication, whereas like when I watch content creators on YouTube, I really enjoy it so much. Like Swim, I enjoy so much because he I learn about communication. I watch his charisma. I find Swim very charismatic. I find he's a very attractive personality, and I feel like I want to emulate Swim because I think he has a very attractive personality. I've known people like him all my life. People who are really into card games. It used to be back in the day, back in the 90s and the 2000s, before they had digital card games. It was all physical card games. It used to be Pokemon, then Yu-Gi-Oh, then Digimon, then Magic the Gathering, of course, was always big. I'm saying when I was a kid, it was Pokemon. And when I was in elementary school, some kids like Pokemon. When I was in middle school, some kids like Yu-Gi-Oh. I never got into Yu-Gi-Oh. I was into Pokemon, but I didn't play Pokemon competitively. I just collected the cards. And there was some free-to-play card games on Steam. There was like 2 games I really liked. The reasons why those games didn't take off is because they didn't have a big enough audience. Thing is, a card game has to have a huge audience if it's going to be successful. That's why I really hope Legends of Runeterra is really really popular, because Legends of Runeterra is far and away the most I've ever enjoyed a card game. I've never enjoyed a card game as much as I've enjoyed Legends of Runeterra. I've looked at other games like Hearthstone, Magic, Gwent. I've looked at other games, and they don't really appeal to me because there's so much text at the bottom of the card. Or like Hearthstone, the graphics are kind of ugly. It looks like it was made for like a standard definition screen or something, or like one of those like square screens. But I really enjoy Legends of Runeterra because it's made to be beautiful, and the cards are really simple to read. So people with learning disabilities like me have a really easy time reading the cards. Now, of course, there's advanced strategies where you have to really think about it, and I like Swim because he talks a lot about advanced strategies. I don't use any other strategies Swim uses. I use the most basic strategies in Runeterra. I just go. What's his name? Trigomir. Trigomir. I think his name is Trigomir. I just build up to that guy, and I try to let Trigomir finish the game for me. He's a really good card, and he can win the game for me if I can get to that point. And I have a lot of low-cost cards that do a lot of damage along the way, and they can block other guys, minions or whatever. So I really enjoy. I guess it's called Demacia. I'm really bad with names, to be honest. I have a mental disability, but I think the name is Demacia. The base, probably most simplest region to play on, Demacia. And the other region I use is I don't know the name. It's like the frozen tundra region. I have Anivia. I know Anivia is garbage, okay? But Anivia was the best card for me in the old closed beta. Anivia worked like magic. She would just win the game for me. And Ash was the other one that used to win the game for me in the old closed beta. I'm saving up my experience to get Ash because I hear Ash is still really good. I was watching another YouTuber, I forgot his name. He said Ash is like top tier. Ash is like one of the top tier champions in the game. That he said that, but right before this beta came out. But I, that was his prediction that Ash would be one of the top tier champions. One of, not the top, but up there in the top region. So I'm saving up to try to get 3 Ashes. I think I still have a Garen in my deck, and I'm like, I still have an Anivia in my deck. I still have a Garen in my deck. I still have like some useless cards where it's not that Anivia and Garen are useless. It's just that they're not as good as Ash. I'd rather just have Ashes instead of those guys. And there's so many cards in my deck right now because I still have a lot of the base cards that they start you off with. There's a lot of cards in my deck that I don't want in my deck, but because I've only played for like 7 hours or something since launch, I've gained a lot of new cards, and I still have a number of cards that are not super important to me. The first thing I bought were those elk cards. I bought 3 of those 4-cost elk cards where it's just like, oh yeah, those things are really nice because they do 4 damage and 5 health. I really like those because at 4 cost, they can take a lot of hits, and they have 5 health at 4 cost. They can take so many hits. Those elks, that's not their name. Elk is their species or whatever, but they're called something else. I don't remember, but I call them elks. The elks are really good. I'm really bad with names. I'm sorry. So I really enjoy Swim, and I really enjoy the culture of watching gaming content on YouTube, because I feel like I learned so much from a charismatic standpoint from watching these guys. I used to know guys like them back when I was in school, guys who got really into card games. I didn't personally. I was friends of the guys who used to hang out in that crowd, that crowd of kids who used to play like hardcore card games. Those were like the same kids that like got hardcore into like Super Smash Brothers, which I played Super Smash Brothers casually, but those guys played Super Smash Brothers hardcore. Like they got in a group of like 15, 20 people, and they would have like these like mini tournaments. And I wasn't as hardcore into like Magic the Gathering and Smash Brothers as those guys were. But I was friends I was friends with some of them, but I didn't like hang out with them or anything. I was friends with them while I was at school. But they were really cool people. They were really cool people. I always admired the kids who were really into card games, because I'm a big believer in hobbies. I'm a big believer in having a healthy hobby. Like some people are really into Dungeons and Dragons. Some people are really into fishing. Some people are really into playing baseball. I really admire people who are really into hobbies, and whatever that hobby might be, I think is very important, and it's very healthy, because hobbies take your mind off of whatever you're going through in school, whatever you're going through in your relationships. Hobbies are very important because it gives you something to do, and it gives you something to pass the time. So I find people like Swim very attractive because he's really into the card hobby. I only started watching him like a week and a half ago. I looked at his history on YouTube just before I did this video, just so I knew more about him. It looks like he started out playing South Park, Artifact. Looks like he's playing Artifact for a while. He was playing Dota Underlords. Okay, he's playing Dota Underlords a lot, which I was more of a Teamfight Tactics guy when I used to do that. I didn't like the style of Underlords. He played Auto Chess. He played Dota Underlords, Auto Chess, and then from Auto Chess, and he played Dota Underlords, and then he went straight into Legends of Runeterra. Looks like, and then I think he's probably going to be a professional content creator in the Legends of Runeterra field. If this game takes off like I think it will, Swim seems to be the primary Legends of Runeterra person. You know what's funny? Skara was the primary Legends of Runeterra person in the closed beta for like the first few weeks, because Skara was like the first person to introduce Legends of Runeterra to most of us. He had this video. Well, I mean, first of all, Scar did Teamfight Tactics content. I watched Scar first on Teamfight Tactics content. Oh, he was really good for Teamfight Tactics. And I got kind of tired of Teamfight Tactics. It wasn't really my cup of tea long term, but it was really fun. Teamfight Tactics was really fun for like 3 months. I feel like so fun for 3 months, so fun, or like 4 months. And then as soon as I saw Legends of Runeterra, I knew I wanted to play that instead of Teamfight Tactics, because I've always wanted to play a really good card game before, and I really enjoy I really enjoy Legends of Runeterra. And then so Scar was covering Legend of Runeterra really well first, and the funny thing is, Scar is still doing Legends of Runeterra, and he hasn't switched. I haven't seen him switch over to Legends of Runeterra. He's still doing Teamfight Tactics. I haven't seen him switch over to Legends of Runeterra since this open beta started. So I think Skara prefers Teamfight Tactics over Legends of Runeterra. I know they're the same company. Probably some of the same people work on both games. I'm sorry my shirt's so wrinkled. I'm a nerd, and nerds don't care if their shirts are wrinkled. I'm sorry, but so Skara he doesn't seem to be fully switching over to Legends of Runeterra. I find that interesting. I find the whole politics of who does what and who's on top, and I find the whole politics of YouTube very interesting, and do people switch over to different games, and I'm sure his audience really expects Teamfight Tactics content from him. And I saw on Twitch Teamfight Tactics and Legends of Runeterra were getting similar numbers from the on Twitch streaming, so I think their popularity is pretty similar right now. I don't know if Legends is going to grow, if Teamfight Tactics is going to grow or decrease. I don't know what's going to happen, but right now they're on pretty similar planes, pretty similar levels. So a lot of these guys are like, okay, which game do you like better? Which game do you want to stay on? Which game do you want to? So Swim switched from Dota Underlords to Legends of Runeterra, and Skara initially moved a little bit over to Legends of Runeterra, and then he was like, I haven't watched his Twitch recently. I used to follow him on Twitch, but I don't follow him on Twitch anymore. So I'm guessing he still prefers Teamfight Tactics for right now. So I find that really interesting. I find it really interesting because Teamfight Tactics is a very similar game to Legends of Runeterra in the sense that they're both strategy games, and they're both kind of turn-based strategy games. They're not real-time strategy games. It's funny that because Riot already has a real-time strategy game in League of Legends, and so Riot has so far made 1 real-time strategy game and 2 turn-based strategy games. So it's funny, all these games kind of compete against each other, but they're so good at making strategy games, Riot is, that they might as well just keep making strategy games. I know they're going to make other genres coming up. They're going to make a shooting game, FPS. They're going to make RPGs. They're going to make adventure games. Riot's going to make all different types of games because they've made so much money from League of Legends. They're investing it all back into the company, and they're investing it in all these other games. I feel like public companies like Activision and EA, when they make a profit, they give the money back in dividends to the shareholders. Whereas Riot, when Riot makes a profit, they're going to reinvest 100% of the money back into making games. And you can tell all the money they put into Legends of Runeterra because the graphics are so good, the art is so good, it's so balanced, it's such a wonderful card game. You could tell all the money that Riot has put into this game. So I really enjoy watching Swim's content, and this video is going to be a little bit about Swim and a little bit about what I'm into. And I feel like, I really enjoy content creators. I'll almost watch more YouTube videos about metas. Like I used to do this for Overwatch. I'll watch videos about what the Overwatch meta was. I almost prefer doing that over playing Overwatch because my reflexes aren't very good, and I'm not actually that great at video games. I was a gold rank in Overwatch. I started out at bronze and very slowly moved up to gold. I only got to gold rank in Overwatch in the past 6 months, and I only got and I'm about to move into the second thing in Legends of Runeterra. I don't even play it that much, but the first one is Iron. Whatever the second one is called, it's called like, I don't know, Wood, or I don't know what it's called, but the first one's called Iron, and I'm about to move into the second rank. I mean, not the four, not the 1 through 3, 4, but the second stone tier, whatever, bronze or whatever it's called. Not diamond or whatever, but I'm about to move into the second of the. I think there's 9 ranks total. About to move into the second of the 9 ranks in Legends of Runeterra. The only reason why I haven't moved into that rank yet is because it's not that I'm not good enough. I win about 70% of my games. The reason why, but I don't enjoy playing it. I enjoy doing other stuff with my day because I only play for like 1 or 2 hours a day. I've only played like 7 hours since it released. Because I enjoy video games, but I enjoy so many other things other than video games. I used to really be into watching sports. Do you know that I basically never played sports since I was like... I used to play sports a little bit when I was like 8, 9 years old, but I did not play any sports since I was 8 or 9 since I was like... No, I used to play sports when I was like 10, 11 years old, and I didn't play any sports since I was like 11 or 12 years old because I have really bad hand-eye coordination. I have really bad reflexes, and I was really bad at sports growing up. But the thing is, what do you call it? I used to watch ESPN all the time, and I loved ESPN, right? Same way I used to watch MSNBC. I used to watch. Okay, let me tell you what I used to do. When I was like from the ages of 11 to like from the ages of like 9 to like 15, I would watch, or 9 to like 17, I would watch ESPN nonstop. And then from the ages of 17 to like 21, I would watch MSNBC nonstop. And I was really into politics when Barack Obama came onto the scene. Barack Obama made me interested in politics a lot. But I was always interested in politics. My grandmother got me interested in that because she would watch MSNBC and CNN all day long. And then I started watching MSNBC and CNN all day long. But first, for like 6 or 7 years, I was into ESPN, right? I even have a Gator shirt. I was into ESPN. I haven't watched any old-fashioned traditional sports in about 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. I don't know when was the last time I watched. I think when LeBron James played for the Heat was the last time I watched basketball. I've watched a couple of final games since then, but I don't watch sports anymore. I mean, I don't watch traditional sports anymore. I do watch esports, though. I do watch a lot of esports, and I really enjoy esports. I like esports more than traditional sports. Yeah, and that's why I love Legends of Runeterra, because I think Legends of Runeterra has potential to become an esport. Sort of like Magic the Gathering is sort of like a sport, and Hearthstone is sort of like a sport, and all these other strategy games, card games have become sports. I feel like Legends of Runeterra, if it keeps its popularity, maybe increases its popularity, if it could ever get bigger than Hearthstone, I hope it gets bigger than Hearthstone because I like it more than Hearthstone. It will become an esport, and I find it really fascinating. Thinking about esports. Yeah. So then, what else? Here's what I'm going to do. I know this is not professional, but nobody's watching this right now anyways. I want you to fast forward 2.5 minutes in this YouTube video. I'm going to go to the bathroom because I have a learning disability. I can't learn editing software. So just fast forward 2.5 minutes in the video and I'll be right back. 2.5 minutes. I'm back. So yeah, I have a severe learning disability. That's why I don't learn video editing software. That's also why I'm unemployed. I've been unemployed for over a year now, little over a year now, because I have a severe learning disability, and I have trouble understanding how to do simple tasks. It's simple for some people to learn video editing software. For me, I don't think it's worth the time investment. I would rather spend my time just talking in front of a camera and doing the other stuff I do, practicing my dance routine, practicing my singing, rather than learning video editing software. But that's just me. I know other people, it is worth the time investment. For me, it would be like slamming my head against the wall. It wouldn't work. Anyways, back to Swim. I really enjoy Swim's content. And I was talking about ESPN and how growing up, I didn't like playing sports because I didn't have any coordination. And but I loved watching sports on ESPN, and the only thing I loved more than watching sports on ESPN was watching the guys talk about sports on ESPN. The Stephen A. Smiths, the Skip Bayless, the Sports Center guys, I love Sports Center. I love Around the Horn TV show. I love Pardon the Interruption TV show. I loved watching people talk about sports and debate. I love debating. I love watching people debate about sports. I find those guys who are really into hobbies like that super attractive, and I want to emulate them as far as like, as a kid, I sort of wanted to be one of those guys on PTI or Around the Horn, the guys debating about sports, because I was really passionate, and I used to debate about sports all the time when I was in school. When I was in middle school, high school, I would debate sports constantly. I'd talk about sports constantly. I'd debate sports constantly, and I would watch ESPN content. I wouldn't even really watch the games. I'd watch some games. I'd watch like 2 games a week maybe, but what I was really into was the commentary. I was into the debates, and then when I got a little older, when I started to be an older teenager, I started to transfer that energy away from watching sports to watching politics, and watching politics on TV, and on MSNBC. I'm a liberal. I voted for Obama twice, and I started to become much more, knowledgeable and passionate about politics, and then. And I have gone from hobby to hobby to hobby. Like, I've gone from being super interested in watching sports to being super interested in watching politics. And then when I got in my 20s, I started to move away from politics. I still follow politics, but I started to be more into PC gaming, because when I got Pell Grants for going to community college, I got enough money to buy a gaming PC for the first time when I went to college. And I needed the PC to go to school anyways, because you need to write papers on PCs and all that stuff, whatever. So I don't feel like I was taking advantage of the Pell Grant system, but you need a computer when you go to school. You need a computer anyways, so might as well get a gaming PC, right? So I got really into PC gaming when I was in my 20s, or early 20s. I first started to get into PC gaming, and I started to watch. I didn't watch MSNBC as much. I didn't watch ESPN at all when I got into PC gaming. The other thing was I was into fantasy sports. Like one of the reasons why I loved watching ESPN so much was because I played fantasy sports hardcore, fantasy football and fantasy baseball. I would just dive into that stuff, and I would read the magazines. I'd read magazines at Barnes and Noble. I'd buy one magazine and I'd read the rest of the magazines while I was at Barnes and Noble. I don't know if they still have Barnes and Nobles, but they were the best store if you loved reading when I was a kid anyway. And used to get hot chocolate when I went to Barnes and Noble. I was with my mom. and and uh, and obviously I didn't socialize much when I was a kid, because I preferred hobbies. This is what a lot of people don't know is I've always preferred hobbies. I've always preferred getting hardcore into fantasy football, hardcore into fantasy baseball, rather than having sex, rather than kissing people. I think that hobbies are better experiences than um, getting romantically involved with someone when you're 15. My mom used to say, people change so much when they're young. And I used to think about, I wouldn't really want to find the love of my life when I was 15. That's why I didn't get into dating when I was in high school. I wasn't into dating. I started to ask girls out when I was in college. When I was in college, I started to try to get into dating, because I thought, okay, when I was in college, now I'm old enough to actually be man enough to. First of all, I didn't even know that much about sex. I wasn't really super interested in sex. I started to be more interested in sex when I got my 20s, but I wasn't interested in sex at all when I was a teenager. That's why I'm a little bit asexual, just a little bit asexual. But it's more just it's sex is kind of dangerous in the sense that you can get somebody pregnant, and I've always been a firm believer in finding love. I'm looking for someone to fall in love with, and what I do in the meantime is I get super into hobbies, right? So I I watch people like swim on YouTube. I was just watching Sweet Anita on Twitch. Sweet Anita is one of my favorite Twitch streamers. I has a cut on my lip. It really hurts. Yeah, Sweet Anita. Sweet Anita is one of my favorite Twitch streamers. I should do a review of her sometime because she has a really good Twitch channel. If you ever want to check out Sweet Anita, you'll learn a lot about Tourette's. You'll I don't want to say laugh, but you'll be entertained. You'll be very entertained. But Sweet Anita is really good if you're looking for a good Twitch stream, especially if you want to get into just chatting. A lot of people don't watch just chatting. Just chatting is far and away my favorite place on Twitch. But a lot of people start to get into just chatting by watching Sweet Anita, and they realize, oh, she's super interesting, and then they say, oh, I bet there's other super interesting people on here too, because she's super interesting. And then they're like, okay, are there other super interesting people on just chatting too? And the funny thing is, there's a ton of them. There's a ton of super interesting people on just chatting. It's really amazing how many interesting people are on just chatting. And I should talk more about this sometime. But I was talking about hobbies. And it's really important to have hobbies because it helps pass the time. It's important to socialize too. A lot of people view socializing as so much more important than hobbies, and I feel like people miss out on so many opportunities and so many cool ideas and so many different ways you can get energy from a hobby. And I feel like people miss out on so much when they only socialize and they only just talk to people. They ride in cars and they go to bars, and I don't even know what people do. I don't know what people do, and people miss out on so many opportunities when they don't get really invested in specific hobbies. Get invested in Overwatch, get invested in fantasy sports, get invested in politics. I'm still invested in politics today. I'm a social justice warrior on YouTube. On Twitter. On Twitter, I'm a social justice warrior. I'm a neoliberal, and I vehemently promote my cause, and I try to get people to donate to rainforest charities, and I work very hard to get people to donate to rainforest charities. And I'm a social justice warrior, just like the South Park song. South Park. That's not a show that has aged well. South Park was funny like 20 years ago, but South Park's not. It's not really that funny anymore because like they're so edgy. Social justice warrior, whatever. It's a funny show, but it's like whatever. I'm starting to realize I'm watching myself in this video. My eyes are like halfway closed all the time. You know, my eyes didn't used to be halfway closed like that. But I like that. I like that my eyes are halfway closed. That means I'm calm. I'm cool. I'm relaxed. When I worked at Publix, my eyes were like so wide open. When I worked at Publix, I was like, oh my god, like it was like I had to be so super like focused to like bag the groceries and cashier the transactions. I was not going to hold on to that job for very long. No, I was not going to hold on to that job at Publix very long at all. Um, that wasn't a long term strategy. Working at Publix is not a long term strategy for me. That's why I'm going to be on Social Security disability pretty soon, unless can become a professional singer and professional dancer. We'll see about that. So uh, so swim. Let's talk about hobbies. And I really find people attractive who are really into hobbies and really do things to just pass the time. And I really enjoy watching people passionate about subjects, passionate about politics, passionate about. It used to be sports, but I don't watch sports anymore. Now it's esports. Because the funny thing about esports is I can actually play esports, whereas like real sports I can't play. I can't play football because I'm not strong enough. I can't play basketball even though I can watch basketball because I don't have enough coordination. Like I can't dribble properly. I can't even dribble properly. Every time I dribble in basketball, I double dribble. Every time I double dribble, and it's like, I started doing that. They started like tracking double dribbling in the 5th grade, and they were like, before the 5th grade, they didn't track double dribbling, but it's like, it turns out every time I dribble, I double dribble in basketball. So it's like every time I get the ball, I travel, or what I get a foul. I travel every time because I double dribble, and it's like, just because my coordination isn't very good, it means like I can't play sports because my coordination is so terrible. And I've turned to video games when I was a kid. I used to play a lot of Grand Theft Auto and Madden 2004, and I was really into Madden when I was a kid. Grand Theft Auto, Vice City, the amazing 80s music. I was really into video games. I turned to video games because I wasn't good enough to play sports. Sports were miserable for me. They were absolutely miserable. I was so terrible at sports. See, if you're good at sports, you can get really into them and get really competitive and stuff. But people like me, who are not athletic, we have to play video games because I'm not athletic enough to play sports. I would have played sports if I was athletic, but I have to get dopamine from other ways because I'm not athletic. So what are you going to do? So I get really into hobbies. I got really into fantasy sports because I couldn't play real sports. I got really into politics. I used to have a political blog back when political blogs were really big in the mid to late 2000s. I used to have a political blog. Now I just use Twitter for politics. I don't talk about a ton of politics on YouTube. It's just kind of random subjects like Twitch stuff and Netflix reviews for movies and TV shows, and I review YouTube shows, and I usually keep politics on Twitter because I think Twitter is a great place for politics. I didn't used to be on Twitter. I only really joined Twitter like 2 years ago, and no. It was 4 years ago when I realized Donald Trump became president partially because of his mastery of Twitter. That's what made me join Twitter for real. I mean, I looked at Twitter before that, but really it was 2016 it's 2017 when he was elected. I was like, okay, now I'm going to join Twitter. When I realized that his mastery of Twitter helped get him elected, I was like, oh, I guess this thing's for real. At that point, I realized this is a real place where real stuff happens. I used to think Twitter was like some like voodoo place where, not like voodoo, but like like just some weird place people hung out at where it's like talked about nothing. But really, Twitter is very important, and you can learn so much from Twitter. There's so many intelligent people from Twitter. Did you know the average Twitter user has a college degree? Did you know the average Facebook user does not have a college degree? So you are going to become less intelligent if you use Facebook. You are going to become more intelligent if you use Twitter. Okay? You're going to become more intelligent if you use Twitter. You are going to become less intelligent if you use Facebook. Because Facebook, they don't have a college degree, and Twitter, they do have college degrees. And I'm talking about the average net user has college degrees on Twitter, and they're so much more intelligent on Twitter. Like on Facebook, it's always like the dumbest guy from my high school talking on Facebook. It's like, you want to listen to the dumbest guy in your high school talk about conspiracy theories? That's Facebook. Facebook is all conspiracy theories. It's always the dumbest guy in your high school. Or it's like, I don't know, it's some random person you went to work with. It's like, oh my God, do I want to hear about this useless information from this person? And it's like, I don't know. But yeah, Facebook is useless. I like Twitter though. I really like Twitter. I really like Twitter. Oh yeah, my dad was gonna start a page on Facebook, but I was like, Facebook isn't any good. So it's like, I feel like Facebook is a place for old people. You know, old people can connect to their local community. It's like, I feel bad about telling him I don't like Facebook. I don't even call him that much, and it's like, I feel bad about being negative to him when I do call him, because I feel like I feel like I should be nicer to my dad. Yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah, I should be nicer to my dad, because he deserves it. He's worked really hard in his life. So this is what my channel is about. It starts off at swim, then it goes to my childhood, and then it goes to how I interact with my family, and that's the way my whole channel goes. It's a very stream of consciousness stuff. This YouTube channel is made to imitate what they do on Twitch, because on Twitch, the Just Chatting section, they talk about a variety of different subjects. They talk about this, they talk about that, they talk about video games, they talk about politics, they talk about everything under the sun. They talk about movies, they talk about life, they talk about relationships, they talk about everything. And I want this channel to be a imitation of what they do on Just Chatting. The difference is, you can't chat with me while I'm doing this, and that's preferable, because I'd rather go on a 1 hour long rant rather than you comment every 5 seconds and me respond. I do, however, want you to comment. I just don't like how Twitch, you have to respond to live comments. I like the YouTube commenting system better. I enjoy when someone comments on YouTube, then I can comment back and I can say, yeah, you're right, yeah, I agree with you, thank you for your support, thank you for watching. And I enjoy the YouTube comment system better than the Twitch comment system. I was thinking about streaming Just Chatting, and then I thought, well, if I do that for like 3 hours a day, my voice is going to be shot, and I'm not going to be able to sing. Like, if I just chat for 3 hours on Twitch, my voice is going to be so bad that I'm not going to be able to sing for my 1 hour on Twitch. So what I decided to do was to... Actually, my voice is getting tired right now, so I'm probably going to wrap this up soon. Maybe I might wrap it up soon. I was going to do 2 videos. Maybe I'll just do 1 video. So I just talk about random stuff, this and that, and this and that. So it is sort of... This is going to be like sort of like Just Chatting on Twitch, where I just rant about different things, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with me talking about random things, and I understand that most people aren't going to watch this. I get that. And I started off doing a swim channel review, and I give him 2 thumbs up. I give Swim 2 thumbs up. He's a very attractive man. Swim's a very attractive man, and I really enjoy his content. And I enjoy Scar's content too, but Scar makes Teamfight Tactics content. And it's funny, he was first one that introduced me to Legends of Runeterra, and Scar doesn't actually make Legends of Runeterra content anymore. Maybe he will at some point, but I was in the closed beta when he did that. So I enjoy how different YouTube personalities do different things. And I would like to make myself into a YouTube personality. Maybe I'll do a video every day about a different subject of my choosing, or maybe I won't. Maybe I won't do any videos at all. We'll see. We'll see what I do. I don't know yet. I'm excited to get into singing again on Twitch today. So I think I ran out of things to talk about, didn't I? I enjoy. I was talking about hobbies and how I really enjoy having hobbies, and I feel like having hobbies takes pressure off you to fall in love. And I feel like I've always wondered, when was I going to fall in love? When was I going to meet the person of my dreams? When was I going to meet the love of my life? But I think hobbies are a great way to spend time and not worry about all that other stuff. I could not take any of that relationship stuff too seriously, as long as I have hobbies, and I enjoy that. Though I also can't be in denial and say, oh, I'm not interested in girls at all, or I'm not interested in relationships at all. And it is a risk to dive too deeply into hobbies, but it's all pretty good, you know. Hobbies are healthy. Hobbies are, what's that song? Yeah, hobbies are great. I really enjoy hobbies, and hobbies, they keep my mind active. I mean, what would I be doing if I wasn't into hobbies? I don't know what I would be doing. I'm working on a dance routine that I will probably go live on Twitch probably within the next few months. So that's going to be exciting, because I'm hoping my dancing is going to be more popular than my singing, because my singing has got me to 28 followers, which is really good. But it'd just be cool if I had another piece of content that I could give to people, not just singing, but dancing. I think I'm even better at dancing than I am at singing. That's the interesting thing. And I'm starting to think that once a week would be the optimal time. The optimal way to dance is once a week. I used to think I was going to do it about every day. I was going to dance every day on Twitch, but I don't think anybody should dance every day, because that's bad for your heart. I've seen some people try to dance every day and they can't make it because I think their heart gives out. I think once a week, as far as dancing goes, is the right amount to dance. And then you kind of look like you're half asleep. Like I look like I'm half asleep the other 6 days a week. And one day a week, I'm going to be wide awake and do hardcore dancing for 3 hours, and should be a lot of fun, and see if I get any more followers on Twitch for doing that. But either way, I'm pretty satisfied with the people watching me sing on Twitch. People watching me do the Twitch things. I'm doing pretty well with that. And surprisingly, people are still watching my YouTube channel. People are surprisingly still watching my YouTube channel, so I really like that. I really like how people do watch my YouTube channel, even though that I don't think I have a ton of self-worth, but they seem to think I have enough self-worth to be able to watch 1 or 2 minutes or 1 or 2 seconds of my video, and I really enjoy that people like my thumbnails enough to click on me, and they think I'm attractive enough of a person to click on, and I think that is I beyond anything I could have ever imagined. This is greater than anything I could have ever imagined, and I enjoy this. I enjoy every moment of this. I enjoy my life. I'm very satisfied with where I am in life, and I think it's only going to get better. Just like the Howard Jones song, things could always get better. Things can only get better. That's Howard Jones' second best song, in back of the song Everlasting Love. The only problem with those two Howard Jones songs is they would play them ad nauseum when I worked at Publix. So they were like 2 of my favorite songs of all time before I started working at Publix. And then when I started working at Publix, I started to really not like any of the music they played there. And now, when I go into Publix, I have to wear earplugs because I can't stand the music so much. Because they play it as ad nauseum. So, is that it? Yes, I think I'm gonna go get some breakfast at McDonald's because I really like McDonald's. It helps me build up protein, build up muscles to be a professional dancer. I understand I'm gaining a lot of fat, but the fat's all gonna come off once I get in a consistent dance routine and consistent cardio, consistent workout. I've been doing lower body squats a lot the past few days, so I'm starting to do lower body workouts too. That's pretty much it. So I think I'm gonna go to McDonald's now. There's a bus that comes like at 6 o'clock. There's a bus that comes at 6:30, and there's a bus that comes at 7. So I'll probably get the I'll probably get one of the buses, maybe the 7 bus, whatever, maybe the 6:30 bus, whatever. I'm gonna start checking out this video, but I think that's everything I want to talk about today. Thank you so much for watching because I really appreciate having people watch this. And most people don't go through the whole 50-minute videos. Most people just watch about 5 seconds and then exit out of the video. And I really appreciate when they watch 5 seconds because it means that I have a minor impact in their life, and it means that they acknowledge my existence. And I really enjoy being alive. I really enjoy being alive, and I really enjoy being on the internet. I was thinking about making internet on. Thinking about making a video about internet culture, but I'm kind of too hungry to do that. I need to go get breakfast. I'm kind of too tired to make a video about internet culture. I'll probably do that some other time, or maybe I won't. I just wanted to say the word internet culture because I really like internet culture. I really think that's great. I think that's it. So now is the best part of the day. I know you all are really excited for this part. Thank you for watching and have a great day. And now a word from our sponsors. Are you looking for an easy way to make money online part-time, or are you looking for a long-term career in marketing? If you click the link in the description of this video and join ClickBank University, you will be awarded with awesome opportunities to make cash now. They said it couldn't be done. Scientists have just found the formula for Organify. Join the green health movement that's changing the world. Click the link in the description of this video to discover the secret to losing weight. It's never been this easy to lose weight until now. I love video games just like a lot of people. What if I told you you could get paid to play video games? You can make $50,000 a year if you become a video game tester. Just click the link in the description of this video and you can start a lucrative career testing video games. I know what you're thinking. How are you supposed to be successful like me? Well, I've written a book and it's called From Zero to Hero, and you can purchase it at the link below this video. I started out just like you at one time, and now look at me. They put me on YouTube. Order it today. Change your life now. This channel is sponsored by viewers like you. I would be extremely thankful if you support me making content just like this video here. Click the link in the description below to support me on Patreon. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Hi. Bye-bye.